Hello people, I'm the Anime Hero. I review anime so you can enjoy it. And you've been wondering, where the fuck have I been? Well, fuck, I don't know. Anyways, man. Yeah, he doesn't know either. And by the way, if anyone's wondering who's that handsome sounding fellow here, that would be Raiko Suken #1. Introduce yourself, man. So
handsome sounding fellow. I don't know about that, but you know, whatever. Hi guys, I'm Raiko Suken 1, and yeah, I'm on YouTube and stuff, and I do videos and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, back to you, Hero.
Yes, Raiko Suken 1. What does he do? He does stuff. What kind of stuff? Stuff.
Loads of stuff.
Stuff. All right, people. Today on, I guess you could say, the Hero Talk Show. I don't know, working title there. We're going to be discussing some random anime series, and one of the things we're going to cover first is a very obscure anime title called Air Master. And after that, we'll probably talk about Toriko. And after that, I guess a little bit of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and randomness after that, I suppose. Alright, let's begin with Air Master, the obscure anime that no one knows about. So
only us too.
I know, but
nobody knows.
I know, but actually, man, I've been browsing YouTube lately, and there's actually have been a couple of videos of Air Master from different people. There's actually a username that's called Air Master Fan.
Right.
Yeah, there's actually one. It's like, it only has 4 videos.
Is he a fan of Air Master? I didn't quite get that.
Yes. So, like, he actually has 4 videos, like 3 OSTs, and one was about a PV commercial of the what's it called, a pachinko game. You know, the
cool.
Yeah, of Air Master. But
yeah.
Man, where do we begin on this thing? Because I just kind of want to talk about. Well, there's gonna be spoilers for everybody, but I don't think people's gonna mind. So
let's start from the beginning, shall we? Let's explain what the story is about.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah. You tell them.
Fine. I'll say everything. Basically, Air Master. It's basically a shonen fighting anime, even though it's a seinen manga. Somehow, so it's very shonen without a doubt. Basically, the main story follows the main character, Maki Aikawa, was it? Yeah, it was Aikawa.
Yeah, I think,
yeah,
Aikawa.
Yeah, a new girl who's transferred to this school, to this new city, blah blah blah, and she's going by this reputation as a street fighter known as the Air Master.
Air Master.
Oh,
and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the premise of the show, is that she's a street fighter, and she has to kind of constantly fight stronger and stronger opponents to become the best, pretty much. And it's a simple premise, but you gotta say, it does it well, you know what I mean? It knows its target audience, and it just goes for it, and it just does exactly what it says on the tin. And that's why I loved it. That's why I loved it, because, you know, the fights were just fantastic, they were brilliant. And it kind of felt like it was a homage to the old fighting anime, you know, the fighting anime.
It's so 80s look, man. Everyone, yeah. All the characters, all the girls look like so bulky Amazon characters. They do, because like, actually, I was wondering, do they have eyelashes? And I look back, they actually do. They have very little eyelashes on the corner of their eyes. It's like just to add some feminism right there.
Only you would go back just to see if people have eyelashes.
I know, because that's one of the things I was wondering. Like, wait a minute, is the reason why they look so guyish is because they don't have eyelashes? And no, apparently they actually do. It's actually there.
Yeah.
But because with all honesty, man, because Maki, she does look guyish in a lot of angles, man. She does, man.
And that's, you know, one thing that kind of really, you know, that I noticed immediately was that, you know, this anime, and, you know, certainly this anime character was different to the norm, if you know, because you know, a lot of animes with, you know, fighting girls, you know, bar a few. Obviously, there are a few which kind of, you know, do similar stuff to Air Master, but what a lot of them do what a lot of them do is that they, you know, they'll put a lot of fan service in the anime. You know, they'll kind of say, "Oh, look at this really pretty,
just like Iki Tosen."
This one, no. So they're like, "No, we're not having it. She looks like a dude."
Yeah. Well, it helps that she's wearing a skirt, like that we can tell the gender.
Yes, that's good.
Well, that and Romy Park, as I know you go fanboy over, so.
Yeah, I do have to say that I have I have a small crush.
Small,
small. On her voice. on her voice. I don't know what it is. To me, it sounds sexy, even though she tends to play young boys.
Edward Elric.
I don't know what that says about me.
I don't know. It's like I'm Edward Elric. I don't know, man. But me, I always fanboy over Stephanie Young. But several actresses.
I've
Honestly.
noticed.
Yes.
Your little fan.
Yeah. It's because someone asked me that question. Like, is there an actress that can be the equivalent to Chuck Huber? So I decided to take advantage of that moment and make this joke on the spot about Stephanie Young. It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna deny she is actually she actually does look as sexy as she sounds. So that's a good thing. But unfortunately, pretty much any actress that I like is already married. It's like, what the fuck?
And with Stephanie Young, she did partake in ninja sex.
Wait, did she? Oh yeah. She
was in one of your memes.
Yeah. She was actually in Basilisk, but I didn't know about it until later.
Yeah.
But going back to Airmaster, well, I guess we're on the topic of fan service. There is one character who's outrageously busty. I can't remember her name.
Outrageously busty.
No, it's outrageous, man. Because I guess that's Actually, let's talk about some of the criticisms of the show that I checked on my anime list. Is that there are some people that they can't really tell that it is meant for a specific audience. It is meant to be like a parody of the shonen genre because it's a seinen comic.
Yeah. I mean, completely. It isn't supposed to be a shonen. It's supposed to be a parody and also a homage to that genre.
Yeah, because
actually being that.
Yeah, because evidence of this is that there's only one character who's actually fan service. One character only. One.
Yeah.
And second is that there's actually very subtle references and maybe even more obscure references to older shonen things such as Virtual Fighter, even Street Fighter. There's like actually one character that looks like Ryu. So
yeah, they kind of made a reference to Tokusatsu. I think it's pronounced Tokusatsu.
Oh with the wrestling, the
Power Rangers and
the Power Rangers episode. Yeah, that one completely homage right there with the Power. Oh, dude, you know one thing I love about that episode about the Power Rangers that shit, what was it? Like they were watching this kids and then the kid was crying the fact that the Red Ranger was getting taken down. Yeah. And so, like, the dad comes, then they bring up all the older Rangers, and then the dad's like, oh, it's like, but Dad, what about them? Like, fuck them! It's like, it's all about the originals. I was like, and he makes his own son cry. It's like, what the
yeah. I mean, there is, I mean, it does kind of, it gives a homage to it, and it also parodies it as well, because, with the, stuff like the Power Rangers, you do have, like, the original Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then you have kind of the other generations that follow. Yeah. And there will always be fans of stuff like Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they'll be like, yeah, that's the best series ever. Whereas other fans will be like, get out of here. So I do like that they did kind of allude to that.
Yeah.
Which was really, really cool. Cause
let's see. I want to keep going about it. Actually, let's just talk about the fights itself because I mean, I don't know. I really love these grapple fights, man. It was like. They were fast paced though. Like I kind of wish they were. Actually, it was like just the right amount of speed for it. It's like no one's like. I mean, some of the characters are superhuman, but Jesus, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, the first fight that caught my attention, and I'm not sure about you, but it was the very first episode.
Lucha.
Lucha Master.
Lucha Master. Or yeah, I mean, the English stuff. I don't know why they made the mistake of calling it Rucha with an R. Yeah. I'm like, what? This is a luchador, man. It's like he's an obvious Hispanic person, like so obvious Hispanic.
Mexican, goddammit.
I mean, like I'm a luchador from no sé dónde. Like I am like let me think of something. Airmaster, quiero pelear contigo. Voy a pelear con Lucha. Lucha libre, motherfucker.
You should do the dub for that. You should do
the dub for that. Oh god, make him like stereotypically Hispanic. Well, actually, you know what's funny? Though, in Spanish anime dubs, there is an Hispanic character that pops out. I don't know why they make him so stereotypical. Like, but everyone else is normal. Like in the I saw Shaman King in Spanish dub. Like everyone else in Spanish was like normal play, but when the Hispanic character came down, like he was so obviously Hispanic with the guitar, the poncho, and the hat. It's like they make him speak like, "Hola, esta vez voy a derrotarte en este batalla." They made him completely overplayed it outrageously, but everyone else speaks like normal, like "Hola, me llamo yo, soy parte de ese torneo de chamanes." So it's like.
But one thing,
But
I don't usually watch a lot of Spanish dub because I'm obviously not
oh yeah,
Hispanic at all.
Duh.
But one thing that I do notice is that like Hispanic people tend to have, they tend to have more enthusiasm when doing the
Oh
voices.
yes,
They
they
put some
most of the
gusto
time.
into it.
I haven't heard of a Spanish dub that's actually underacting. To be honest, I always
Right.
find them like perfectly well because like
Overacted.
not a little overacting, but for the most part like well balanced. Because whenever a kid or an old person comes out, they actually do get an old person or a kid to do those lines.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
and they
right.
actually sound right. Although it's kind of
Well,
funny
they don't
because
get a woman to do it.
yeah, it's actually kind of funny because most of the dubs actually get the same actors over and over. So like the voice for Gohan in Dragon Ball Z, like you'll hear him almost all the time as playing other characters. It's like yeah, you're always gonna hear him. It's because it's actually funny, but
It's kind of like Funimation what they do.
well, yeah. But actually, just one little thing I want to point out for the Spanish dub is that like one thing I always enjoy about the Dragon Ball Z dub in Spanish is that you knew right away what Frieza's gender was. Because in the English, both time, well, maybe the first time with Linda Young, you couldn't really tell like what kind of voice is that. Like, what is Frieza? It's like I don't know. He's like, and of course, in the Spanish man, they made him sound manly as fuck in the Spanish version with Frieza. But going back to Air Master, like we just weighing off songs for sidetrack with dubs there. But going back to Air Master, okay, let's see. We talk about the dub. We're talking about the fight with Lucha. So.
Yeah, with Lucha, like that was like the first thing that really captivated me into watching that show, and because what I saw with it was that the actual fight itself was really well animated and really well choreographed.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like they kind of storyboarded it really well. Like they said, like right, this is what we're gonna do with the animation, and this is how we're gonna do it. Like with a lot of shows in a lot of animation these days, they don't usually tend to put that much effort into fight scenes, and it usually kind of I'm just gonna punch you with my super mega fist, and it's like too much. Actually, it's like too much superpower.
Either that or the same thing is repeating itself over and over.
Yeah. Like with with a lot of shonens, there's too much of a superpower. They always have this huge ability, and the fights don't seem real. Whereas here, in this
I know
show,
in old
all the
shonens, man,
fights
old
were
shonens like 80 shonens, it's all about the punching, man. It's all about the fist
yeah.
fights. It's all about that. Like the power is like a bit of a bonus, but no, in the old days, it's like I mean, you take a sword stab and you keep fighting after that, man. It's like it's all about Sakigake.
I haven't seen Fist of the North Star, but for the most part, it just seems like a bunch of men fighting each other. It doesn't seem like I'm gonna use my rubber fist to twist around, blah blah blah. I'm just gonna punch you in the face.
I know, it's like North Star's all about the punching, kicking, like jumping in the air, like fucking fighting. But like, oh man, like the other series I would talk about is Sakigake Dokujuku, man, because I mean that one, the manliest high school ever, man. Like, but dude, at the same time, Kongo Bancho, like that series, man, that thing needs an anime. I have no idea why it doesn't.
I don't know. Yeah, like, well, I've only seen the first 14. I've only read the first 14 chapters.
You gotta read the rest. You gotta read the rest, man.
I know.
Because it's hilarious. It's hilarious because you're the one that introduced me to it, and I'm like, I finished it. You're not even done. So.
I know. Like it stood out to me so much because I thought this has got to be my show. Like, because I love like really manly shonen shows. I'm just
manly.
Yeah, that kind of really stood out for me. But I kind of, the thing is, with me, I get massively sidetracked. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, like like this conversation, we just sidetracked from Air Master once again. So going back to Air Master about the fights, it was that like, well, I don't know. That's one thing I loved about Air Master is that the fights are, to me, honestly, like I think my favorite fight has to be with Maki versus Kai in the wrestling ring, like that whole fight with the wrestling ring. That was like, I was like, oh my god, like I'm like, why isn't this released on DVD? Funimation, you have the rights to it. I know you just barely started streaming it on your site, but put it on DVD.
And it needs to be redubbed. That is definite. It needs to be like a new release.
Yeah, because it turns out actually, man, they did release the four volumes of it before it canceled. But apparently, like there was only like limited amount of copies for the part 4, or it was never released. I don't know, because I looked around sites. Even on Amazon, they have it listed that they were supposed to get part 4, but it says currently unavailable, and every other site I go to. Like, they don't have anything beyond that.
Well,
Because I so wanted those episodes, man. I so wanted those episodes. It's like fuck. Like my favorite, like one of my favorite, but I guess a part of the fault of the show is that you have a hard time remembering everybody's names.
yeah,
Like they don't leave that much of an impression. Is that well, no, I take that back. They leave an impression, but you just can't remember their fucking names. Like that tall dude.
Well, there are some that kind of like do leave an impression, and you do remember their names because they're quite easy to remember. Like Kai, you know, which
Kai.
is only three letters.
Three letters.
And also the absolute juggernaut. You know, if you don't remember this person after seeing him in the anime, shame on you.
Okay.
And that is Sakamoto Juliet.
Oh, Juliet.
Yeah.
Dude, no one can forget Julieta, man. I mean, like, even his name.
No.
His name is a girl's name, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. He leaves such an imprint on the mind.
Maki.
Like you feel
Maki.
Yeah.
Maki.
Yeah.
Oh my god, because, I mean, dude.
He has such a creepy voice.
That guy's a beast, man. It's like,
reminded me how creepy his voice
oh
was.
god, dude, there's gotta be a list of the most, like, scariest, creepy, gross, unforgettable characters or something, man. Because that guy's one of them, man. He's like, dude, man. He's like, he just kicks you, man. He'll send you flying. Like he knocked people through the fucking roofs like that. It's like I'm gonna fight. Fucking hell! Just kicked him up there before you even finish his introduction. It's like I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's what I love about the show and about these characters is that they do the cliche things in anime so well.
They break the molds. Like you know when a new badass character shows up, it's like my name is this. I'm gonna fucking fly. Like I know. Then they purposely bring out. Yeah, you didn't at least let him finish his introduction, man. It's like
I love how with Sakamoto Juliet, how he kind of became friends with his father. Like,
I know. It's like he's like the only one that he's like the only one that keeps it in control. But you gotta admit, what he did was stupid. In that towards the end of the series, where he left him unconscious in her apartment alone. It's like, dude, that is just dumb as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like people kind of like there's been a lot of buzz in on YouTube with the Berserk rape scene.
Yeah.
But watch this attempted rape scene.
I know it's like
absolutely hilarious.
Well, it's somewhat hilarious, man. Because I mean, to me, what I found it felt like more like odd because there was a nightmare going on there, and there was clips from the closing song. But but they were just like making the sounds. It's like what the hell? It's like because the thing was moving in slow motion and everything. It's like what the fuck is going on? And then the clip. But then to me, what made me laugh is when her sister comes back and it gives the awkward impression of what happened. And it was like her face is like oh.
No, that's not what happened.
No. And then she calls it.
Well, since we're on the topic of like sex within that show, there was this thing about the sexuality of in terms of the sexual orientation within the show because a lot of people were gay or bi or.
Well, it's true. Now that I think about it, everyone was like double-sided in this show.
Yeah.
Because I mean the other huge dude, which name I can't remember. But that outrageously tall dude that fought against Julieta.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
I know, but everyone remembers who he is, but you don't remember his name. Because basically, people, there's this huge ass tall dude, but he's totally gay over this one dude. But he looks like scary type of gay, man. I don't mean like let's say he looks more like a pedophile, man. Because I mean, he has a tall dude, wears a blue.
You wouldn't want to see him on a dark night in an alleyway.
You don't want to see him during the day either, man. It's like no on the bus. You don't want to sit next to him on the bus because there's this tall dude with brown hair and he has like this beard. It's like I guess you could call it the pedo beard. I don't know because there's this guy, huge guy. He's like totally saying that he doesn't want any girl like to take this dude away from him. And but then there's this one scene episode though that it's like oh god. I had to fast forward it because he actually does get a kiss from the other dude. It's like, oh my god. It was so unexpected because everyone, like, they kept cutting back to another fight. And then at the same time, he was, like, fighting somebody. So, fighting the Fukamachi guy. But I'm like, oh god, I had to fast forward that, man. Because they kept it slow and they repeated it again after the commercial break. So I was like, oh my god.
Just to kind of rub it in.
I know it's like
He's definitely gay.
yeah. Oh, hold up. No, right, Kosuken. Right now, and since right now we've been recording for 20 minutes, I want to make sure this thing records everything. So, like, yeah, we talked about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna put a stop to this, but then I'm gonna push record again. So we'll be right back after these messages of some sort.
After these short messages.
The ones we made up. So,